What's going on, guys? I'm making this video here. My 2008 Ford F-150 crew cab 4-wheel drive. So recently my buddy and I went on a fishing trip slash hunting, and we were doing some off-roading, and we were pretty good elevation, so there was some snow. Ran out road and proceeded to drive through some snow where I probably should have turned around. We got stuck. So we jacked this sucker up and got a bunch of rocks and stuff under each tire, and for low I proceeded to gun it basically to get this thing out, because we were there for a little while. And so in doing so, I'm gonna guess that there was rocks and debris and whatever, and kicked up and basically must have hit these little vacuum lines on these F-150s. It's an '08, they're brittle, so my hubs were locked, and we were in Forlow, and we had several miles to get back into town. So we just cruised down 15 miles an hour and got into town, and went into the local parts store and got some rubber hose and a little package of fittings. So I've got a 90 here, but after going through this thing, I pieced it all together and figured we should be good to go. But I started up and the hubs were still locked. So started doing a little bit of research and discovered that this solenoid, I'm guessing it was bad. Okay, I took it off. There's a new one on here. I just switched it out because I don't want to have any issues out there again and have something fail. So what I ended up doing out there was so this connection here, one end is a little bit longer than the other, plugs in there. Okay, so there's constant vacuum. Once you start this thing up, there's vacuum, and that's what the hubs need to disengage. So I basically disconnected this piece from this end, and then just we're bypassing the solenoid. So I plugged it in directly to this line, which goes down to the bottom into the hubs. So once I did that, I was able to start the truck up, and then we had vacuum again, and the hubs disengage. Okay, right now the truck's off, so these things are actually, this one's free, but the other side I know is locked. Yeah, see, that one's locked. But anyways, so I thought we were good to go, and man, was I wrong. So I don't know if it was just a coincidence or this transfer case, as you can see, I've got it up there taped, was it still wasn't switching over on the dash. So I ended up coming down here and unscrewing this thing, unbolting it, and then I taped it up here to the tail shaft of the transfer case, and then discovered that the underneath the mounting area, it actually has markings of the too high, four low. So we were stuck in 4 high, or actually 4 low. So this little shaft, as you can see, is pointed. The point was pointing directly at 4 low. Okay, So I wanted to get out of Fort Low because we had about 400 miles to get back home. So I just took a pair of pliers and manually just shifted it over and put it into too high. So that got us out of Fort Low, and with that thing taped up there, because apparently on the new on the replacement motor, you have to pull a couple of these wires out by removing that red tab and then pushing the pins in and then replacing or placing those wires into the new connector. So, you know, that's what I ended up doing, and man, it got us out of a jam. We were luckily, we had a couple days off, so we were up there goofing off and ended up spending more time wrenching than actually fishing. But saved us a tow truck or expensive repair at a shop out in the middle of nowhere where parts weren't even available because we were trying to find parts. That was the other issue. We were trying to find parts, transfer case, motor. And of course, the weekend everything's closed. So man, we had to jerry rig this thing up and it worked. So that's what I ended up doing. So I mean, it might get you folks out of a jam if you find yourself in that same predicament. But I have parts. I'm gonna keep wrench on this thing and I'll make another video and let you know what happens. Hoping this thing goes back together. The other thing I didn't mention is, so once I had this thing disconnected on the dash, on the instrument cluster, it's still reading for low. So the computer must think that it's still in for low, because I can feel there's it's not as responsive, and also the speedometer won't go above 15 miles an hour. So yeah, I'm sure it's all related, hopefully. But like I said, I'll make another video once I get a little further along with this thing and let you know what happens.